Day number 13. Dear Know Him. Today's topic is Precede His Presence. Bible verse is Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. This verse is a call to quiet trust in the midst of chaos. This psalm speaks of nations in uproar, mountains falling, and waters roaring. And yet, God's command is not to panic or struggle, but to be still. Be still. Let go, release control, cease struggle. Know that I am God, a deep confidence in His sovereignty. We have heard this verse many of times, but to understand it, we have to go back to feel the emotions of every verse. Let's do some research. Who wrote it and why? You might not know this, but this psalm is a song. It was originally performed with music. The sons of Korah, a Levitical group that was responsible for writing worship songs, and they wrote this song. But what led them to write this particular song? It was written in a time of political and military threat, a global chaos, and natural disasters. I won't get into the historical context of it. Just know it was chaotic for God's people during this time. So, this verse is not a quiet song. It's actually full of imagery of crisis, conflict, and shaking. Let's get into it. It's only 11 verses, so I want to dig deep. Verses 1 to 3. Natural chaos. God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. So we will not fear when earthquake comes and the mountains crumble into the sea. The world is literally falling apart. Earthquakes, floods, and disasters. And yet, the people of God do not fear. Why? Because God is their refuge shelter. Verses 4 through 7. God's presence brings peace. A river brings joy to the city of our God. God dwells in that city. It cannot be destroyed. The nations are in chaos and their kingdoms crumble. God's voice thunders and the earth melts. The contrast. The world is shaking, but God's people stand firm. In God's presence, not circumstances, not problems, not chaos. In God's presence, that brings peace. Verses 8 through 9. God's power over war and conflict. Come, see the glorious work of the Lord. He causes wars to end. He breaks the bow and snaps the spear. God is not passive. He is actively dismantling chaos, ending violence, and establishing peace by His power. Verse 10. Divine interruption. Be still and know that I am God. Now, do you think that He said it that way? Or He said it more like, be still and know that I am God. Or, be still and know that I am God. I wish my voice was a little deeper. Nonetheless, this verse here, this isn't a gentle whisper of comfort. It's more likely a holy command from God Himself speaking into the storm. Stop the fighting. Stop the fearing. Stop trying to control everything and be still. Remember who I am. I reign above it all. It's like God is interrupting the panic and speaking peace into the chaos. All these problems are happening, and He comes out of nowhere and says, be still and know that I am God. And when I read it out loud and the way it sounded, my spirit paused in this particular phrase Okay, be still. It's not just about inner peace or personal quiet time. That's not what it means. It's a command to stop, especially in a time of chaos. And it's the call to recognize God's sovereign power when the world feels out of control. The phrase be still is familiar, it's important, but it's a command to follow through with and know that I am God. It's a submission to your spirit to understand who God is. It's a command to understand why He said, and know that I am God. The weight of I am God often escapes us. It's as if we're so caught up in the tranquility of the moment that we overlook the inspiring declaration that follows. Yet, this is the pivotal part of the verse, the part that holds the key to a deeper understanding. And know that I am God. It reveals a profound truth about God's nature and character. Here's how this single phrase shows us who God is. Number 1, be still and know that God is sovereign. The command to be still is spoken from God's perspective. It's like a declaration of His absolute authority. It shows that God is in control over all things, no matter how chaotic or unstable life may seem. He is the supreme ruler who reigns over nature, nations, and human affairs. Be still and know God is powerful. The context around this verse talks about earthquakes, mountains shaking, and nations in uproar. God's power surpasses all these forces of nature and human conflict. The verse reveals that God is almighty, the one who calms the storm and holds everything together. Be still and know God is peace. The call to be still isn't just about stopping physically. It's about finding peace and rest in God. He invites us to stop struggling and worrying and to trust in His peace. This shows God as a source of true calm and security. Be still and know God is present. Know that I am God implies a relational invitation to recognize His presence in our lives. God is not distant or detached. He is near, personal, and actively involved. We can know Him, experience His reality and power in our hearts. Be still and know God is worthy of honor and trust. The verse continues with, I will be honored by every nation, indicating that God is worthy of worship and reverence. He deserves our trust because His eternal nature and faithfulness. His glory is ultimate and eternal. Be still and know I am God. I am God. I am God. Sovereign King who rules over all. Omnipotent Creator who controls nature and history. Prince of Peace who offers rest to the weary. Personal God who desires a relationship with us and worthy of honor from all people everywhere. This verse is not passive. It's a declaration to your circumstance, letting you know who your God is. Now, bonus, I'm going to add this in there because as I was doing my study, I said, God, you are all of this. I want to be all of that. How can I apply those attributes to my everyday life? Number 1, God is sovereign. Live with trust and not fear. What does that mean to us? Even when the circumstances feel overwhelming or out of control, remember God is the ultimate authority. When anxiety creeps in, pause and remind yourself, God is in control. I don't need to carry this burden alone. Choose faith over fear by surrendering your plans and worries to Him daily. Number 2, God is powerful. Find your strength in His might. What does this mean to us? God's power is greater than any other problem. God's power is greater than any other problem, struggle, or obstacle you face. When you feel weak or discouraged, lean on His strength. Pray for His power to sustain you. Remember that He can calm your inner storm and provide breakthrough. Number 3, God is peace. What does this mean to us? God invites you to rest and find peace in Him, even when life is chaotic. Create daily habits to find peace. Prayer, meditation on scripture, quiet moments, worship music. When stress rises, intentionally be still and breathe in God's peace. God is present. No, you are never alone. What does this mean? God is with you every moment. He walks through your challenges alongside of you. You're not alone. Don't feel like you are alone. Practice awareness of God's presence throughout your day. Talk to Him in your heart during work, rest, or when you're facing a challenge. Let His nearness comfort you in a lonely or difficult time. He's always there. Always. Even in those moments that no one sees you crying. He is there. You know, sometimes when I feel that, I close my eyes and I say, when I open them, can I please just see you? He doesn't let me see Him, of course. But I could feel this overwhelming peace. It's like a blanket that comes over me. Applying these attributes isn't about perfection. It's about aligning your mindset and heart with who God is, letting His truth shape your responses and trusting Him step by step. Ask yourself, where am I still trying to take control instead of trusting God's timing? What fears would I release if I truly knew God was in control? Where do I need to surrender, not just my actions, but my urgency? And to end, in the midst of chaos, choose stillness and Him. Our world is full of constant activity, noise, and information overload. From social media to work pressures to family, to church sometimes, global crisis. God commands to be still and invites us to pause, breathe, and center ourselves in knowing that He is God. Discipline your emotions and posture yourself to your sovereign God. With love, Theo.